Whether we're talking about the crypto you trade or the cloud servers that quietly run your bank, our entire financial world has basically become a digital Wild West. So today, we're diving into how the European Union is trying to step in as the new sheriff in town with a brand new rulebook designed to tame some of that chaos.
And it really all starts with this question. I mean, is your digital money safe? Every time you tap your card, make a trade on your phone, or buy some crypto, it's all part of this incredible digital revolution. But with all this new tech and convenience, do we really know if our money is secure?
And that right there is the heart of the issue. Financial technology has been moving at light speed, like a rocket ship, while the rules, well, they've been moving at a snail's pace. So now, lawmakers in Europe are in a race against time to close that gap. So let's back up a bit and see how we even got to this point.
First up, we have to get our heads around the sheer scale of this change. The old world of walking into a bank branch and dealing with paper checks, that world has been almost totally rebuilt from the ground up online. I mean, just think about it for a second. Capital can now flow directly from one person to another through things like crowdfunding, completely bypassing the old gatekeepers. And at the same time, assets are being tokenized on blockchains, creating entirely new ways for us to own and invest in things. But, and this is a big but, this amazing new world has also kicked the door wide open for a ton of new risks.
Which brings us right to the central conflict here. For every awesome new opportunity that fintech has given us, it seems like it's also opened a Pandora's box of new dangers, and we're just now starting to figure out what they are.
It really is two sides of the same coin, isn't it? On one hand, yeah, services are faster and cheaper. But on the other hand, a whole new playground for sophisticated cybercrime. Having global access to capital is a total game changer, but it can leave investors flying blind without the usual safety nets. And if you don't have one set of rules, the whole market just splinters into a confusing mess. And wow, have these new assets gone mainstream. I mean, look at this. A 2022 survey found that a whopping 16% of everyday investors in the EU are holding crypto assets. This isn't some fringe hobby anymore, folks. It's a huge piece of the investment puzzle. And you can bet this kind of rapid growth has regulators sitting up and paying close attention. ESMA, one of the EU's big financial watchdogs, is basically saying, hey, a lot of people are jumping in hoping for a jackpot, but they might not realize they're playing with fire.
But okay, the risk isn't just about crypto. There's something much, much bigger happening behind the scenes. The whole financial system, and I mean all of it, from your small local bank to the huge investment firms, is basically moving its brain onto cloud servers. And guess who runs those servers? Yep, just a handful of tech giants.
And when I say a handful, I mean it. The concentration here is just wild. Get this, Amazon, Microsoft, and Google. Just those three control over 60% of the entire cloud market that our financial world depends on, for everything, from processing payments to running stock markets. So that leads to a pretty scary question, right? We all learned about banks being too big to fail back in 2008. But what happens when one of these tech providers becomes too critical to fail? What if one of them goes down? It could set off a domino effect that starts a whole new kind of financial crisis. Okay, so we've got these volatile new assets and this massive dependency on big tech. What's the plan? Well, this brings us to Section 3, the EU's new digital rulebook, which is officially called the Digital Finance Package. They've basically broken it down into a two-part plan. First, there's a set of rules called MiCA. That's all about taming the world of crypto. And second, there's DORA, which is designed to be a digital shield for the whole system. Let's dig into each one. All right, so MiCA, that stands for Markets in Crypto Assets. And the big deal here is that it creates one single rulebook for all 27 EU countries. Before this, it was a total mess, just a patchwork of different national laws. This now provides what they call a European passport. And it's more than just tidy paperwork. This is a power move. The EU is basically saying, hey, we want to be the best, safest place in the world for crypto business.
So who exactly does MiCA cover? Well, pretty much the whole shebang. It starts with the people who actually create and issue the crypto assets, whether that's utility tokens or those all-important stablecoins. And it goes all the way to the platforms where you and I trade and store them. Those are called CASPs, or Crypto Asset Service Providers. Just think of your favorite crypto exchange or wallet. Yep, that's them. Okay, now for part 2, DORA. That's the Digital Operational Resilience Act. And if MiCA is the rulebook for crypto, you can think of DORA as a mandatory cyber fire drill and a new building code for everyone else. It forces financial companies to prove, literally prove, that they can take a punch from a major cyber attack or tech meltdown and get right back up. And when I say everyone, I mean everyone. This isn't just for the big banks and insurance companies. We're talking investment firms, crowdfunding sites, and yes, even those crypto providers we just talked about, they all have to have this digital shield in place.
But here, this is the real game changer with Dora. For the first time ever, those critical tech providers, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, they are now directly under the watch of financial regulators. This is the EU's big answer to that too critical to fail problem.
Okay, so Mika, Dora, a whole lot of new rules and acronyms. What does this actually mean for you, for your money, and for your digital life? Let's break it down.
The whole philosophy behind this can be boiled down to one simple, powerful idea. Same activity, same risk, same rules. It doesn't matter if you're a 100-year-old bank or a brand new crypto startup. If you're doing the same thing, you play by the same rules. It's all about leveling the playing field.
So what are the big takeaways? Well, first, if you invest in crypto, you're going to get way more transparency and actual legal protections. Second, the digital banking we all use every day should get a lot stronger because it's now being stress tested against attacks. Third, this creates one giant, clear market for innovators to build new things. And finally, and maybe this is the biggest one, it brings some much-needed accountability to those tech giants who've become the quiet backbone of our financial system.
But this all leads to the big fundamental question, doesn't it? Can you build guardrails to protect people and the system without accidentally killing the very innovation that's building our financial future? It's a really tough balancing act. The EU has placed its bet, and now we'll just have to wait and see how it all plays out. Thanks for joining us for this explainer.